What's going on, everyone? It's your boy, Dead on Dave. Welcome back. Now, I know we didn't have it last week, but we are back and bigger than ever with my sunburned super co-host, my third baseman, the abstract man, the mountain of muscle. He's so red, but it's better than being dead. Jeff, the Huffman. What's going on, my friend?
Slightly less red.
Slightly less red today.
I can at least raise my arms above my head. It still hurts a little bit. Still can't go to the gym, and that eats at me a lot. It drives me certifiably insane.
Oh.
And to sort of make up for it, I have ran, let's see, just today, almost 2 miles in my 15-foot wide basement of suicides, basically.
Yeah, that's dedication. That's dedication. See, you want to talk about working for your body? That's working for your body. Jeff Huffman has earned this sunburned physique of his. What a good-looking man. Yes, I have a picture of your sunburned naked torso on
oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Hope you don't
That's
mind.
cool.
I didn't run it by you or anything. So.
I don't care.
I thought I'd spring it on you now. So welcome back to Touch 'Em All, everybody. Did you miss us? We didn't do it last week because I was dying. But we're oh, go ahead.
Yeah, but you did not die.
No, I did not die. It was good. It's a good time I did not die. But we are back, and we got a lot to talk about because baseball stops for no man, and it's been a crazy couple of weeks.
Yeah, just a tad. Just a tad.
We've had amazing plays. We've had. We got a no hitter.
Yeah, Chris Heston.
The no hitter out of nowhere.
Well, I mean, it was against the Mets.
Still.
No, still, it's a major league. It's a major league team. Sort of.
Yeah, a first place major league team. That's impressive. It's a good thing. The Mets, while not exactly hitting the cover off the ball by any stretch, even though they did put up 10 last night, it is still quite a feat for a no-hitter. And is there anything more exciting than a no-hitter or a perfect game? It's just so exciting. I love it.
No, not really. Not really. It's it doesn't happen very often, and that's what makes it so special.
Yeah, they are quite fun to watch, man. Just everything matters more. It's just like every ground ball, you're see if it hits a pebble. You're seeing
right.
It's awesome. I love it.
I almost saw a perfect game a couple years ago, against the Milwaukee Brewers down at Busch, and you're never going to guess who was throwing that perfect game into the 8th inning.
I wonder if it was Adam Wainwright.
It was not.
I wonder if it was Loesch.
It was not Kyle Loesch.
I wonder. No, who was it?
That would be Jaime Garcia.
Oh, that's right. I remember that game. It was.
Who has been absolutely disgusting since he's been back.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my God. when Garcia is healthy, he's unhittable. He is unhittable.
I hate the Cardinals so much right now. It pisses me off that it doesn't matter what injuries happen.
Yeah, Wainwright's dead. You say they're done. Oh, okay. Adams goes down. You think the offense might go down. Yeah, they're still winning games. Holiday goes down, and they still win.
It makes no sense. It boggles
and now Lance Lynn's gonna miss 2 starts, and they just took 2 of 3 from the Royals. The game yesterday got rained out.
Yep, it makes no sense. This is driving me absolutely insane. I don't get how they could be this good. Here's the bottom line on the Cardinals. This is what I'll say about the Cardinals until we get later on to when we're actually talking about them. 24-7 at home. There you go, kids. That's good. 24-7 at home.
Yeah.
If you don't understand what type of a ludicrous number that is, 24-7 at home. What the hell? That's the friendly confines for you guys right now.
Just a tad.
Well, what say we get to the division by division breakdown, shall we?
Sounds good.
And we'll start in the NL East, which is playing a lot better than the last time that we left them. Seemingly everyone except those friggin' Red Sox, which the wheels have completely come off that team.
Oh, you said NL East.
Did I say NL?
You did.
Well, I meant AL East.
Okay.
I
Very competitive division, with the exception of the Red Sox, which, if you've watched highlights the last week or so, it seems like every single game they look clueless in the field.
Yeah, they do.
Just absolutely clueless. Yesterday, one of their 57 outfielders, I think they had Brock Holt, they had Diaz out there,
Yeah.
4 guys around a nice little blooper, dropped in. Dropped in. Sandoval and Leon go for a foul ball. They end up colliding, drop the ball.
Yep. And they're not pitching well. They're not doing anything spectacularly well. This team is just, it's not a good team. They're not pitching well. They're not hitting well. It looks like...
Well, you know, not entirely, because that last series against Toronto, I mean, they put up 8 runs and, 8 runs and 5 runs? The problem is they gave up over 10.
They're in the bottom half of the league in every major statistical category in both batting and pitching.
Well, yeah, that's not good.
They're doing nothing good. They're not hitting. They're not fielding. They're not pitching. They're not doing anything well. This is a team that needs a shakeup, and I think the manager's got to go. I think that's...
I was hearing rumors that they were thinking about trading him.
The manager?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, why not? Why not? I don't know what they're going to give for Farrell at this point. He's failing.
You might get a washing machine.
You might get a washing machine. I mean, a little bit semi-pro.
Yeah, I mean, they need something to clean the filth.
Why not? Because there's a lot of filth on that team right now. David Ortiz, or should I say, the rotting corpse that is David Ortiz. I think he might be done. Every year we want to say David Ortiz is done. I think he actually is now. It's just nothing has worked out. Nothing has worked out. Ramirez is still absolutely lighting the world on fire, but it's not enough. It's not enough.
No, you need a full 9 guys, and it doesn't help when 20 of your 25-man roster are outfielders.
Hey, even Ramirez, he's come down quite a bit. He's not hitting the
well. He got. I mean, he got us to such a ridiculous start.
Yeah. Now his average is down to 275. I mean, reality is set in every aspect of the game. So let's leave the Red Sox alone, because there's not much more to say about them other than they're horrible. Other than that, the rest of this division has stepped the hell up. Absolutely stepped up, and they've become the most competitive division in baseball over the last 2 weeks easily. We're talking all 4 of these teams, the Orioles, the Blue Jays, the Rays, and the Yankees. Not one of them has fared worse than 7-3 over their last 10 games, with Toronto winning 11 in a row. What, 11 in a row by the we thought were dead Toronto Blue Jays.
Well, I mean, all year this team's offense has been absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
They've been absolutely ridiculous. They have 79 home runs this year. They've scored the most runs in baseball by far.
Yes, they have.
With about 350. It's amazing what they can do when the pitching improves just a little bit for that team.
Just a little bit.
And that
Go ahead, sorry.
No, the starting pitching has improved just enough to where, the offense doesn't have to score 15 runs a game, even though they're pretty much doing that.
Yeah, it's crazy. Obviously, the move that we got to talk about with Toronto is they've got to go get pitching. I don't know what they can give up for pitching at this point, because they made so many moves in the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
But they've got to go
get something.
Yeah, they have
get something. You don't need any more offense, and that's been the story the last 2 years. We've been waiting for this team to finally, win this division, because they had the longest playoff drought, since the Royals did, and obviously the Royals ended that last year.
Obviously.
But yeah, go get some pitching. You don't need any more offense. You got Josh Donaldson, who some reason isn't leading the All-Star game vote at third base.
Yeah, well, that's because I don't know if this has a direct impact on him, but Kansas City, the fans are absolutely stuffing the ballot over there. So
well, yeah. Each email address you can vote 35 times.
Yeah, ridiculous. Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. But what are you gonna do? I don't know if that's I don't know who the third baseman is that's over there right now. So I don't know if that's affecting.
It's Mike Moustakas.
Is he right now leading the way?
Last time I checked, it was by like over a 2 million vote margin.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
I mean, Moustakis is having a nice little year. He's hitting about 320. He's got 5 bombs driven in around 20.
Donaldson's an MVP candidate. Yeah, so
yeah, 315.
Yeah.
17 home runs driven in 45.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been absolutely ridiculous this year, and Russell Martin's hitting like they expected to. He's hitting in the mid 280s.
Took him some time to get going, but now that he has, you know who I think is a possibility for a trade? If there's one guy on offense that you could make a trade, and this might sound a little ludicrous to some, but what about trying to get something for Jose Bautista at this point? His batting average is going down. He's still hitting for power, though. I don't think losing his bat in the middle of the is really going to hurt him too much.
I understand that, but it's just the threat. Just the threat of Bautista.
True.
In that lineup.
True. I get
that. It still seems like every 2 nights or so he's launching a ball into the 5th deck.
Yeah, and I get that. I get that. But at the same time, I don't know how stacked their minor league system is right now. I think it's pretty depleted. So to make a major move, to get a Cueto, to get a Cole Hamels, to get a guy like that, maybe even maybe a move for like a dude like Samardzija wouldn't be out of the question. I do believe Jeff Samardzija is going to be on the move again, by the way. Mm-hmm. Just because he's had a terrible season, and I think he's going to want out of the White Sox because he realizes that was a mistake.
Yeah, it doesn't really help when you have a pitching machine as your bullpen.
Yeah, that's true, but you know what? It doesn't help his stats. The bullpen does not reflect his stats. His stats are terrible.
No,
he has not done anything. He's not been good. Not been good. But back to Toronto. They're going to have to make a move. What do you think the most likely scenario is for them? Who's their biggest target?
Who's their big? Well, like you said,
going after Cueto. I mean, is that it? Is that the move?
Again, we don't know how deep their minor league system is. I mean, really.
I don't know how much Cincinnati can demand for Cueto. I know they're going to ask for the moon, but the fact that he's already had tendonitis in his elbow this year is a warning factor. The fact that he is a free agent in a few months, that's a little bit of a detriment. I don't know if they're going to get as much as they think they're going to get. They should get a lot for him.
Oh, they definitely should, but I don't think Toronto has enough to give it to him.
Yeah, Toronto's not that team. I hope the Cubs stay away from Cueto. I really do. I think that he's going to be very juicy, especially if Hamels leaves the market earlier than some people suspect. But I really want the Cubs to stay away from Cueto. I just have a bad feeling that his elbow's about to fall off.
And I don't like Johnny Cueto, so I don't want him anywhere near that.
You don't have to worry about that. You guys have pitchers coming out of freaking every...
That's true. We have the resurrection of Jaime Garcia.
Shut up, Jeff. I hate you so much right now. I hate the Cardinals.
Rosenthal has blown 1 save.
Yeah. But the rest of this division, I mean...
And we won that game, by the way.
Yeah. The rest of this division, Baltimore's playing really well. They're starting to get things together.
Yeah, Davis is starting to launch the ball out of the ballpark on a consistent basis.
Yeah, he is. That dude, I don't know if he's authentic or not, but he's scary when he gets going. He
definitely
really is. That dude hits just pure rage when he gets going. It's pretty scary. Weeders is back, correct? He is. Yeah,
yes, he is
back, and he's hitting. He's hitting. He's 333 since he's been back. He's got a bomb.
And you got Adam Jones, who's underrated in my opinion.
He does not get enough said about him. There's no question about that. And I think it's because he's got for a guy who, I'll tell you why, he's got a 344 on base percentage. He doesn't walk. For a dude who hits as well as he does.
That's like the one thing he cannot do.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's a sexy number right now, though.
I love everything about him, though.
I do too, but you know as well as I do, on base percentage and drawing walks and stretching out the pitching, that is becoming a sexy thing in the stat world right now.
Yeah, well, look where that's getting Oakland.
Very true. Very true. Yeah, no, that's their philosophy. They just don't have people who are doing it. If they execute that philosophy, it works quite well. Look what the Cubs have done. Look what the Cubs are doing. They are more 3-2 counts than anybody in baseball, it seems like. It's incredible how when the Cubs are playing the type of style they need to be playing, they are driving pitchers out of games early because they're throwing 60 pitches in the first 3 innings.
Yeah.
So when you're able to do that and execute it, it will work. Oakland just can't do it. They're terrible.
Unless you're playing Kansas City, then that probably won't work out too well.
Probably won't work out too well. Even though we played well against Kansas City, I gotta say. So.
Yeah.
And then we got the Yanks. The Yankees.
They just
keep hanging in there.
Yeah, came off a big losing streak with a big winning streak.
Yeah. Yeah, that just got stopped.
And the Rays have matched them.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's funny how things coincide. 2 weeks ago, there were days where not one team would win on any given day, and now it seems like nobody can lose except for Boston. And
yeah, I think again last night every team in the division, with the exception of Boston, won last night.
Yeah, I think it's really starting to become apparent just how important Mark Teixeira truly is. He's raising his batting average up again. I know it's still only at 256, but
but he's still getting those extra base hits, driving runs in. He's got was he driven in 45?
47.
47.
Yeah.
See, I even undersold him.
Yeah. This is a team that is just doing what it needs to do.
You're on the mark, Teixeira.
Yeah, you heard. Good. That's a nice one. I like that.
I ripped that off of John Sterling. Him and his stupid, sometimes cringeworthy little puns.
That's okay, though. We'll forget.
An A-bomb from A-Rod.
Yeah, I hate that. Isn't that terrible?
I hate the McCann one. I don't even want to say it.
McCann's. I don't like McCann. That's the thing. Well, you got to say it now.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying it. Okay. I'm not saying it because it makes me cringe.
Okay, fair enough. So now here's the question. Now let's sum up the AL East at this. With all the teams playing as well as they are right now, who do you see sustaining and who do you see falling by the wayside?
Oh my God. Well, Tampa Bay is all pitching.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay is all pitching. I don't know if they can keep it up for the last, 100 games or so.
Yeah. Just 100 games, not a big deal.
The Yankees, I think, barring all their pitchers' arms fall off.
Yeah.
I think
they're throwing everybody out there because they're just old. This team's old,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I still look for the Yankees to be there. I mean, how can you argue with 11 in a row?
Yeah, it's hard to argue against Toronto at this point.
11 in a row from Toronto. I mean, they still got big question marks in both their starting rotation and their bullpen.
Yeah.
If they can just get something, I don't know, bring in a nice number 3 starter who will, get you innings and not give up 6 runs.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, who would if the Cubs were in a selling mode, which obviously they're not going to be. Jason Hamill would be a good fit for Toronto. I think a guy who just.
What about how about raping Oakland again, and you could get Scott Kazmir?
I was about to say the exact same thing. Kazmir makes a lot of. Oakland's going to sell. There's no question.
Yeah. Because they suck.
They're not going to pay Kazmir next year. He's a free agent. They're definitely going to trade.
When does Billy Beane pay anybody?
That's true. He does not. But you know what, though? The funny thing is, it wouldn't surprise me if Oakland is back in it next year. Because you just got to give Billy Beane some credit. He seems to.
And then there'll be a nice wild card or division series exit.
Yep. Hey, as much as we shit on Billy Beane, and he takes a lot of shit.
They've been competitive.
He went for it last year, man.
He did.
He emptied the coffers last year. He got Lester and Samardzija.
He did. I like them. I like the moves he made.
Yep. Just didn't work out.
I liked him, and it fell flat on its face.
And they emptied out that they really pounded that fucking.
And then after they fell on their face, Seth Rollins came in and curb stomped them.
That's right. Seth Rollins came in and curb stomped him out of nowhere. So, yeah. So the AL East is definitely a division worth watching at this point. It's must-see TV. I think we all agree on that. Mm-hmm. Let's move to the Centrale, shall we? The AL Central, which is the opposite of the AL East because this division is in fucking disarray. Nobody is really playing extremely well.
No, like nobody wants to take this division and run away with it.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, if we were talking about the AL West, that's something that we're kind of used to seeing. But this is a division where there were at least two teams that we were expected to be world beaters. Not good, but great. Detroit and Kansas City, and they've both fallen off a bit. Kansas City's not playing.
Well, Detroit had I want to say, what was it, an 8 or 9 game losing streak?
Yeah, they did.
I mean, they're recovering from that. They're 5-5 in their last 10. Yeah. They finally got their feet under them again. You know, Minnesota, they've been a great story. Held the division lead for a little bit, and after getting swept by who'd they just get swept by? Who'd they just get? Did they get swept by Kansas City?
They won last night, but they got swept.
They got
swept by the Royals a few days ago.
Yeah, they got swept by the Royals at home, and that brought us
2 or 3 to the Rangers as well.
Yeah, the Rangers have been playing a lot better too.
Yeah, we'll talk about them in a moment.
Their offense has come alive, but you know, Minnesota, I think we're finally starting to see that. They don't have the talent.
Yeah, they just don't have the top line talent. And they don't.
When your leading hitter is Torrey Hunter.
Yeah.
At 40 years old, I love Torrey Hunter. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, the dude can still play, but yeah, that's not a good recipe for success.
What did you think of his tantrum? What did you think of his taking clothes off, his strip show tantrum that he had the other day?
Why not?
Yeah, he lost his mind.
It made me laugh.
It did. It did. Well, here's the thing. Minnesota realizes they are in a position to compete in this division. So they said, screw it. They promoted Byron Buxton. He hasn't even been to AAA. They promoted him from AA.
Yeah, had a couple prospects called up in the week.
Yeah.
Yeah, Buxton, who scored the game-winning run yesterday.
Even though he went 0 for 4, yeah, he did. He scored the game.
Well, yeah. I mean,
you don't need to always hit to win a game. That's very true.
Indians brought up switch hitting Francisco Lindor.
Yeah.
Who got his first major league hit yesterday, even though the Indians got spanked. And his first hit was very, very funny because he was so excited rounding first base. He just straight up flew about 10 feet and fell on his face. And then he starts pointing at Cabrera like he tripped him. It was, oh my God, it was hysterical.
Hey, that's a way to make an entrance, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
then you have Correa for the Astros, who we'll get to.
Is it interesting to you that so many young top prospects have been called up this early? This seems like an abnormal thing. And is it because of the success of guys like Bryant and Peterson? Is that why people are saying, you know what, we're just going to roll with our top prospects? Or is this just one of those weird times where these guys happen to be ready?
Maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of both, because we started seeing this. Actually, I'll go a little bit further back with Strasburg.
Yeah.
You know, Strasburg, what year did he get drafted?
2010?
2009.
2009.
Yeah, he was such a highly touted prospect in 2009. And, you know, he came up the next year and lit the world on fire. And ever since Strasburg came up, you've seen these guys coming up, you know, earlier and earlier, guys like Harper and Trout. Yeah. And I think all these teams are trying to, you know, catch that lightning in a bottle with all these big, highly touted young prospects.
Yeah. No, it's very true. It's very true. And it doesn't always work, but it's going to be interesting to see if it works with Buxton. We've heard for years the tales of Byron Buxton, the amazing physical feats of astonishment that this guy's been capable of. So is he going to be the piece that helps Minnesota get over the hump? I don't know, because you got to figure this division is going to get its act together, Cleveland is getting healthier, and I still think that they can make a run. But Kansas City and Detroit still have the rosters to be terrifying. So I don't know. What do you see happening in the AL Central long term here?
I still like Detroit and Kansas City duking it out at the end.
Yeah.
I think Cleveland is going to be right there in the hunt. I think Minnesota's going to. I don't think they're just going to flat out burn and die.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to slowly taper off.
Yeah, they got to pull out of this tailspin, no question.
Because when your best player is your closer, I mean that's not.
That's not ideal.
No.
As
as good as Glenn Perkins is,
yeah,
leading the league in saves, you got to get the lead first and have starting pitching and people in the bullpen in front of you that can hold that lead.
I agree. Detroit is still my pick here because
they're going to be Miguel Cabrera. Yeah. Oh my God, and he just straight up owns Corey Kluber.
Yeah.
He's going into the game yesterday. He was hitting .576 against him with 4 home runs. Guess what he did yesterday against Corey Kluber?
I wonder.
Yeah, he just hit another home run. No big deal.
No biggie. No big deal.
No biggie for Miggy.
I think a big thing for Detroit is they look like they've got a relatively, I'd say 85 to 90% healthy Justin Verlander.
And I think you'll take that.
You'll take it, and you'll take it any day of the week.
You got David Price, who's been great.
People have not been talking about David Price a lot this year, but he has been really good. He's been as good as he always is.
Mm-hmm.
But now the question becomes with him: if Detroit continues to not play up to their standard, do they consider trading him because he's a free agent next year?
Well, if they go on like a 20-game losing streak, then yeah.
Because right now they're 3 back now. If by the trade deadline they're 8 or 9 back, which is not beyond the realm of possibility the way this team has played, does David Price become available? And if he does, that changes things for a lot of teams.
No, I don't see Dabrowski doing that.
Even if they're 9 games out at the trade deadline?
Nope.
Wow. See, I think because of the type of deals that would be getting thrown his way, I think he'd have to consider it.
Nope, because if this division keeps playing like the way they have been, I mean, not great baseball, like 500 baseball, which seems to be the trend in the AL Central.
Now, but not at the beginning of the year. At the beginning
well, yeah,
of the
yeah,
year.
I mean, yeah, Detroit and Kansas City going, flawless.
I'm saying over the next month, if Kansas City gets unbelievably hot, goes on a tear, Minnesota plays decent ball, and Detroit is behind them both.
I wouldn't be 100% surprised if something like that were to happen.
Yeah. But
I don't see Dombrowski doing it.
You're probably right.
I still think this team is way too talented with guys like Miggy, V-Mart, Ian Kinsler, who's hasn't really done a whole lot. No. But I don't see it. I don't see it.
Here's the thing on it, and I agree with you because they could make a run even at 9 games out.
Because their window for winning a World Series is closing
rapidly, and that's the point that I wanted to talk about. This is a team that's getting older, and David Price, I don't think he's coming back next year.
I don't think he is either.
So if you're 9-10 games out, you're going to get blown away. People are going to be paying a lot for David Price. I think you have to trade him. If you're out of this, if you are double digits out and Kansas City is taking control, there is no point in keeping David Price.
Yeah.
But we'll see. It'll be interesting. I'm with you, though. I don't think it will happen. I just would not be completely shocked if it did.
Yeah, I wouldn't be completely shocked. I mean, like we were saying, if they just flat out burn up at the trade deadline and somebody gives you an offer for Price you can't refuse.
Yeah. It would not be shocking. The last thing in the Central, the White Sox suck.
Pretty much. That covers that.
Oh, that feels good. Wait, hold on. I got to do one more thing. Let me see. Let me see. The guy they had to have. The guy they needed so bad. We got to have him. He's so important. He's an ace. I'm telling you. He's an ace. Where is he? I need a stat.
Chris Sale's good. Chris Sale is good.
Jeff Samardzija, 4.84 ERA. 4-4 on the year. He's getting shelled. He's got a career ERA of 4, you fucking cretins. Jeff Samardzija is not, nor has he ever been, an ace. And the Cubs made the coup of the century by getting Addison Russell.
Thank you. If this was live right now, I think you'd be getting a quick call from Real Talk.
You know what though? He's got nothing. He just likes the White Sox. He just likes the White Sox.
Yeah.
Yes, Samardzija sucks. The White Sox suck, and I'm happy. It makes me happy. It gives me joy. It gives me tingles in my tingly, sensational parts. Yes, White Sox suck. Moving on. Let's go to the AL West, shall we?
All right, let's get this out of the way.
Yes.
Oakland sucks.
Oakland sucks.
Except Sonny Gray.
Except Sonny Gray, who is the man. And God, do you trade Sonny Gray? Or I know that's not freaking Bean's move here because he's good. But do you trade Sonny Gray? Real quick.
I'm not going to be surprised if they do it, but if you want to have someone to build around, Sonny Gray could be a guy to do it.
Yeah, that's true. But at the same time, you've got to. This team has a lot of holes. And you got to get a lot of people. So Casimir, Gray, basically anybody who's walking, if you can get a decent prospect for, then that's what you do. That's what you do. So
yeah.
Let's talk about the most obvious thing here. Houston 2-8 in their last 10, not keeping up the pace that they had. Now that would have been hard because they were playing really, really well. But it seems like
with the exception of spanking Seattle in 2 out of the 3 games.
Yeah, but that's not a surprise. Seattle's terrible. It seems like this team is starting to come down to earth. Is that what's happening, or is this just a young team that is having some ebbs and flows? What's the reality?
A little bit of both. Yeah, I mean, it's a high risk offense. A lot of home runs, lots of stolen bases, lots of strikeouts.
Yeah.
I mean, they brought up Carlos Correa to maybe provide a spark. At the time, they lost 4 in a row. Up to that point, maybe they could sense it at that point. Maybe this kid, and I can call this guy a kid because he's younger than me. Yeah. He's 9 days younger than me. Jerk. But no, I mean, this guy getting a lot of comparisons to A-Rod.
Yeah.
Getting a lot of comparisons to A-Rod because he can do it all on the field.
He can. His bat right now is leaving a little bit to be desired. I think they called him up too early. I think he needed more time. I know it's
you can always send him back down.
True, but you know what? I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of bringing up your biggest prospect in your system only to send him down quickly. Even at this age, that's something that worries me. I don't like the idea of it. Now, granted, this is still a very small sample size.
Well, the Cardinals did it with Tavares, and that worked out pretty well.
Well,
until
arguably, I mean, he didn't. He had a couple nice spots, but I mean, Tavares also didn't really live up to the hype that people were placing him on. Now, granted, he didn't have time, but
right
because he kind of flamed out. Oh, I'm a mean bitch.
Did his best Ryan Dunn impression.
That's right, he did.
But no, towards the end of the regular season and in the postseason, it looked like he was figuring it out.
Yeah, well, maybe. But this is also the guy who does not give up on Jason Hayward, so it's kind of hard.
I mean, he's performing around his career numbers.
Yeah,
he's performing. He's hitting around 250. The only thing that's below his career numbers is on base.
Yeah, we'll get into him, I'm sure. But look, Carrera, 6 games. 6 games does not a season make, but he's got tendencies that you don't like to see. He's only. Are you good? You still can?
No, I'm good. I'm good. No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. He's only walked once in 6 games. That's a little bit of worry, but it could just be young guy stuff. So, look, got to give him a little bit more time. Obviously,
he is 20.
He's 20. 2-0. And this is a very young team. Obviously, the move for Luis Valbuena was one that was good. That was a good move. While he's not hitting for average or on base, he's hitting for power. And
yeah, well, I mean, you really don't. It seems like, the Astros started to play bad once they announced they were removing that stupid hill.
That's right. That's right.
So if the Astros don't win a game for the rest of the season, it'll be the Tal's Hill curse.
That's right. Forever known. Or you know what? It could have just been this team just got hot and they played through it. They played through a hot stretch. And I think they're going to get caught. I believe Texas is going to continue to play well. And that's the team I want to talk about in this division, give them the real spotlight, is how much better this team has played considering their start. Their start was atrocious.
Yeah, well, I mean, at the beginning of the year, they had a lot of injuries. They lost Darvish for the year. Yeah. Holland went down. They're going to be getting him back soon, which that's going to be a nice pickup for them. And, they're just hitting the cover off the ball.
Yeah, they are. They are.
I mean, Fielder's having a ridiculous year.
He's starting to slow down a little bit, not much, but considering where he was at, that's not. He's not hitting 370 anymore.
No.
But yeah, he's ridiculous. He's absolutely ridiculous.
And they're gonna be getting Beltre back, who just delivers every single year. He's produced a very sneaky Hall of Fame potential career.
Oh yeah, he's gonna at least be in the conversation.
And he can still pick it over at third base.
Yes, he can. Yes, he can.
Does not like getting his head touched, but
no, he doesn't. He's a little bit of a dickhead, but it's okay. I don't mind. I'll take it.
And if Hamilton could come back and do what he did in his first couple games back, can't really say much. It's good things. It's good to be a Texas fan right now. Let's just put it that way.
It is, considering they were probably ready to jump off of a bridge. Yeah, this team is starting to figure it out a little bit, and it doesn't hurt that really nobody else in the division is pressing for any serious contention. Seattle has not gotten it together. Still a surprise to me. I don't understand what went wrong in Seattle. I don't know if you have the magic wand and can fix this or tell me why, but I don't get it.
It could be chemistry. I mean, that could be really all it is. The Trumbo trade hasn't provided a spark.
Nothing's worked.
And 2 of his last 3 starts, King Felix has just got absolutely destroyed.
Yeah. So what do you do if you're Seattle? This is not an overly young team, nor is it a team that's over the hill. Do you blow this team apart, or do you stay the course and hope that next year they figure it out? Because I don't think they're doing anything the rest of this season.
Oh, man. I kind of want to put them in the same category as Detroit, saying that they're too talented, but man, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know because you just threw Fort Knox at everybody in the offseason.
Yes. And it's good that Cruz is producing because you can get rid of him. But Cano, that contract is going to be one of the worst contracts in baseball very, very soon. But let's look at it. 29th in runs, 29th in batting average, 28th in on base, and 21st in slugging percentage. That's not going to get it done. Pitching isn't much better. They're middle of the pack at best in every major statistical category in pitching. So this is just a team that I think they could be surprise sellers come the trade deadline. Mm-hmm. I don't know how far they're going to go, but I definitely see them making some moves because this is not good. This is not.
Maybe if they continue to fall on their face, Nelly Cruz could make a return to Texas.
You know what? For as much as we talk about the big contracts, Nelly Cruz's $14 million doesn't seem that bad next to Robbie Cano's $25.
No, not at all.
So I don't know. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, possibly I could see it. That's a big move to get rid of him. But and to be fair, though, Cruz he's old. He's 34. He's 34, so he's probably the most likely candidate.
34 and can still rake.
He could still rake, but for how much longer? You're paying him a lot of money for a team that's not competing. So you got to at least consider it. It'll be interesting. I think this is going to be a crazy trade deadline. I really do.
I think it is too.
But usually when we think that's when nothing happens.
Right.
Let's talk about the Angels. That they're just kind of they're playing. You know what? Sum it up real easy. They're playing 500. They're playing 500 ball. Not doing anything spectacularly.
You got the Anaheim, Trout, Pujols, and Calhouns. Yeah. That's pretty much your whole team right there.
Yep. They're not hitting exceptionally
Pujols,
well
by the way. Pujols, by the way, passing Mickey Mantle on the all-time home run list.
Yes, congratulations to Apu.
Doesn't have the average this year. He's only hitting about 275, but the power's been there.
Hey, you know what? For as old as he probably is, like he's probably 47, considering that, you'll take 270. Look, considering how he's played the last couple of seasons, how much he's declined, you're going to take this year out of him in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. Because he is having a really nice season when you consider that he is, I'll say it in quotations, 35 years old, probably 45 years old. But look, 18 home runs, 34 dongs, hitting 276. Yeah, he's a 316 hitter, but he's well removed from those days. Probably the most troubling stat of his is his on-base percentage is 75 points lower than it usually is. But other than that, I mean, you're going to take this season out of him in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And he is unmovable. So it doesn't matter if he hits 100 home runs this year. Pujols is unmovable. So even if Los Angeles continues to be mediocre, which
unless they want to be stupid and pay the rest of his contract and just give him to somebody.
Yeah, no, I don't see that happening. I don't a la Alfonso Soriano, like what the Cubs did with him. I don't know, because he's got what, 6 more years on that contract?
Oh, jeez.
He's got a lot of. I think he's got a lot of time left there. Maybe not that much, but he's got some time left. They signed him to a 10-year deal, right?
Yeah, I can look it up real quick.
Yeah. But even for all their mediocrity, the reality is they're only 3.5 games out. So the Angels are not done.
Jared Weaver throwing 83 miles an hour is somehow keeping them in games.
What happened to Jared Weaver, man? What happened to him?
I don't know. I don't know.
When did he turn into his brother?
Well, he hasn't turned into his brother yet because his brother has a World Series ring. And only pitched the 2006 clincher.
Yeah.
No big deal.
No big deal. But look, Jeff Weaver didn't have a Hall of Fame career, though. I mean, what I'm saying is,
no.
Jared Weaver looked like he was going to be the real deal just a few short years ago.
Sorry to interrupt. The Soriano deal was an 8-year, $136 million back in 2006. So it just expired.
Yeah, I know that. I'm talking about Pujols's.
Oh, you said Soriano.
Yeah, I said it's gonna be like what the Cubs did with Soriano.
Oh,
because you said eating up his contract, to pay.
My bad.
I don't know.
I misheard you.
That's okay. No biggie. But I think he still has a few years left on his deal.
Oh yeah, Pujols does. He's still got like 5-6 years left on it.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okie dokie, let's move to the National League. Any final thoughts on the American League? What happens in the American League? Who takes it? What's going on here?
Who's going to be in the World Series for the American League?
The American League West. I'm sorry. God dang it. I
like Texas.
You think
I
like Texas too.
I like Texas.
I think Josh Hamilton, as long as he can stay healthy, we'll see what happens. Let's move to the National League and to the perplexing National League East. I don't know what to make of this division. Atlanta's still in it, and they're under 500. Washington, Explain to me the Nationals. Explain to me the Nationals.
I can't explain it.
This is insane.
I can't explain it. You have Bryce Harper, who's ridiculous.
You have the single best hitter and probably the single best pitcher in the game right now.
Yeah, Scherzer, who threw a one-hitter last night.
Oh, God.
Against Milwaukee, which makes me smile.
Always. It's insane. If you have the best pitcher and best hitter in baseball, you should be good, and they're not. Where do we put the onus on offense? I think it's probably because you got to look at Desmond and friggin' Rendon.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Rendon's just coming back from. He didn't really have a spring training.
He's got to get it going though. He does.
Yeah, I mean, I believe this is the guy that finished 4th in MVP voting last year. And, at the end of last season, people were saying that he's the best player on the team, not Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, was a fair argument up until this season.
This year, yeah.
When Bryce Harper finally decided, you know what, no, he's not better than me.
Yeah, I think there's a few things that they have to look at. Here's one reality they have to come to grips with. Ryan Zimmerman is done. He's done. He's not a threat. If you want to keep him at first base, fine, but he is done. He's not hitting.
Well, if you need a walk-off hit in extra innings, he can do that because he's got 10 walk-off home runs in his career.
Yes, but he's not that guy anymore, Jeff. He's just not.
No, can't really throw the ball. He can't really do that.
He's got the yips. He can't throw the ball, so you can't even move him out of first base. But the reason why they kept him around is because they figured he could still hit. 209, 5 home runs. Granted, he's got 34 RBI somehow, but this is not getting it done.
Yeah, why not? Throw Espinosa at first base.
You got to do something. The Nationals have to make moves. They might have to make more moves than almost anybody else because something has to change for this team. I don't know what it is, but they got to make some moves here. This is a team that they need to pick the panic button because this team went all out. They were the Cubs, but they decided to go for it. They built the same way the Cubs did, but this offseason they decided to go for it. When you get Max Scherzer, you decided to go for it, and they've got to go. They've got to go. So I don't know what to do here, but the Mets are still in first place. Don't ask me how.
Somehow they don't have an offense.
No, because their offense is on the disabled list.
That's true. That's true. They just got d'Arnaud back.
Yeah. It's a very confusing division.
Their offense consists of Travis d'Arnaud and Michael Kadire can still hit a little bit.
Yeah. Wilmer Flores is their home run leader and their RBI leader.
Yeah, your offense isn't good when Wilmer Flores is your leading hitter.
Daniel Murphy, he's hitting 283. It's weird. The Mets are. Here's the thing.
They're kind of like the Minnesota Twins, only they have pitching.
Yeah, here it is. This is real simple. The NL East, not good. There's nobody really scary in this division right now. Nobody scares me. Nobody scares me.
I mean, on paper, you would expect the Nationals to be running away with this with their middle finger up in the air.
You would think. But I think losing Strasburg hurt them. Him not performing and now being hurt, I think hurt them more than we thought. Because I think they were counting on that. And Roark, who is, everyone was confused as why he got the bullpen job. He hasn't. I'm going to check his stats because I want to make sure I'm saying the right thing here. But he hasn't been amazing since he's been brought back into the rotation. So, I don't know. Let me see. I'm trying Tanner Roark. Yeah, 371.
Well, again, it seems like when the spotlight is on the Nationals, they underperform.
Yeah.
Like they did in 2013. Everybody expected them to win the World Series. Yeah. And, that didn't work out too well.
Didn't work out. Did not work out. And,
spotlight wasn't on him last year. They end up having the best record in the National League.
Yeah, Roark got lit up in his last start. He's got a 371 on the year. Yeah, it's it's bizarre. It's very strange. Strasburg needs to come back and he needs to perform. If not, I think that's the guy you got to move. I think and people might be like, man, Dave wants to trade everybody. Well, I'm just looking at guys that I think could be valuable trade pieces and that could help the team. And in this case, Strasburg makes sense to me. This is why I don't like Strasburg. He seems to hate playing baseball.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he has any fun whatsoever.
No fun.
Part of that could be of how poorly the Nationals have handled him,
True.
just straight babying him
True.
since he's been up.
True. So this could be a change of scenery situation. I'll tell you this: I'd take him on the Cubs. I'd welcome him.
I'd take him too, but we don't need him.
No, you don't need him. The Cubs could use him, and I don't think you can't demand the world for him. He's had Tommy John. He's underperformed. He's coming off an injury this year, so they can't ask the world for him. And he's 27. He's not a kid no more. So, I don't know. What do you see this division shaking out? Obviously, we don't need to talk about Philly or Miami as they are atrocious. Philly's 1-9 in their last 10. Enough said about them. Atlanta's hanging into it. Are they a threat? If not...
No, Atlanta's about right where I expected them to be. Or 500, a few games under. They're right where I expected to be. Shelby Miller's been awesome for them.
Yeah, yes.
But...
Are you still standing behind that trade?
I mean, it made sense.
But as good as Shelby Miller is, and I know that your pitching staff doesn't need him, but, I mean, I'm just asking.
I mean, it made sense. It made sense. You know, Walden comes back. If Walden's unhittable, Hayward produces just a little more than what he's doing. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. So, yeah, who wins this division?
Washington,
probably. More than likely. Don't count the Mets out. I think the Mets are going to make a couple moves before the trade deadline.
Too low. Oh.
Yeah. Too low cures everything. We're going to skip over our division and end with that because that's the most important thing to us.
Right.
Let's go to the West where it's a two-team race, really. The Padres they're not scaring anybody. It's San Francisco and the Los Doyers.
Well, San Francisco just got swept by Arizona.
They did, which is troublesome. But they're still.
But keep in mind, Arizona they've scored the most runs in the National League.
Yeah, they've
scored the most runs in the National League, and they have the MVP candidate every year in Paul Goldschmidt, who's having another MVP type season.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
But no one talks.
17 homers, 50 RBI, 359. Yeah, just a little bit.
It's not too bad.
Not too shabby. Is Arizona a team that could get hot in the second half?
Like the Blue Jays, they have a great offense.
Yeah.
If they can pitch just a little bit better, they can make a run at it.
They can make a run. I think Ruby De La Rosa is a pretty decent pitcher. He's inconsistent. That's his thing. He gives up a lot of runs, but he strikes out a lot of guys.
They should be getting Patrick Corbin back.
Yeah. Chase Anderson has been a stud this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so.
But they're pretty much in the same category as the Blue Jays, honestly.
They're probably a year away. I think Arizona's a year away.
Yeah, I mean their offense isn't as good as Toronto.
No.
But they still have a pretty good offense. I mean, you got the MVP in Goldschmidt. You got Tomas, who isn't hitting home runs like everybody thought he would be, but he's still hitting the ball. They got
Pollock, AJ Pollock.
I really like AJ Pollock.
Yeah, there's a lot to like,
and he just absolutely destroys left-handed pitching.
Yeah, he does. The biggest concern, though, is the fact that they only have one guy in double-digit home runs, and that being Paul Goldschmidt. And that's a little bit troubling, but at the same time, home runs does not make an offense go all the time. So the scariest thing about Goldschmidt is he's also walked 51 times this year. Whew.
Yeah.
Whew. That's a scary guy. 478 on base percentage.
Yeah, just give him first base.
Yeah. Poor Rizzo.
No, you can't really do that because then he'll just steal second.
Oh yeah, just put him on first base. Yeah, I feel so bad for Anthony Rizzo. It's just like in the same league.
You got so many great first basemen this year in the league. You got Goldschmidt, Rizzo, Votto. I mean, it's not fair.
It's not fair. I feel so bad for the guy because Rizzo's having a really nice year, but Goldschmidt's having an incredible year.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Dodgers. That's the team to talk about. 6-4 in their last 10. Jock Peterson still being the guy. Very impressive.
Saved the game yesterday.
His batting average still leaves something to desire. He's still streaky when it comes to home runs, but
yeah, he's not your prototypical leadoff hitter because he doesn't have the high average.
Yeah,
gives you a lot of pop. He can run, he can field. It's just
he's a ball player. He's a ball player, and Adrian Gonzalez has not slowed down. Everyone thought he was going to. He has yet to do so.
Yeah, just an on-base percentage of .394. No big deal.
That's it. It's not a big deal.
Just got Puig back, too.
The pitching has been – look, Kershaw is becoming more and more Kershaw-like every start virtually.
Yeah, gave up one hit against the one game they did win against the Cardinals in that last series.
Yeah.
But it's not the postseason, so –
no, it's not. But you know, I hate when you do that because you got to get to the postseason. You got to get there, and Kershaw is a guy that you want in the regular season. Yes, he's not to this point. He has yet to produce in the postseason, but you got to get there.
Yeah, very true.
Greinke is still amazing. This team is it's scary. I am scared of the Dodgers. Because I do see them getting better when they get healthier. Because their bullpen's had some health issues this year.
Yeah, you have Rollins over there. I think he's doing about what you take. He's hitting. Last time I checked, he was hitting around 250. And I think at this point in Rollins' career, you'll take that because he's still going to give you a nice glove at shortstop, and you got a nice little run producer.
When was the last time you checked?
Yeah, what's it? What is it now?
199.
His average is at 199?
Yes.
Well, the last time I checked, it was about 2 weeks ago, so I guess he's died in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, wow. He's getting harder and harder to defend because you want to defend him because he's such a good defensive player.
Okay, my bad. Disregard what I just said then. Disregard what I just said. I don't have the time. I don't have the time to look at all 25, 30 guys on a roster in a week.
To be fair to him, though, he does have 7 home runs. And he's still Jimmy Rollins. That does mean something. He's a veteran presence. I'm going to still stick with that. I like Jimmy Rollins.
I do, too.
But I don't know. Do you replace him? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what to do with him. I really don't know what to do with him. But you know what? As long as he just continues to be that stabilizing force on the team, they're going to be fine. Puig is looking really good since he came back. Yeah, he's hitting 357. Yeah. The Dodgers are scary. Are you worried about the Dodgers at all? I know you're not worried about anybody, but what about the Dodgers?
Their lineup doesn't scare me as much as it used to. But you still got Greinke and Kershaw. And you get them in a 3-game series. You're getting those two. Even though Kershaw hasn't produced in the postseason.
Yeah.
And with that lineup with Egon, Peterson, Puig, they're still pretty.
Ethier's having a nice little year.
Yeah, Ethier's having a nice year. They're still a scary team.
Yeah, it's a scary team. It's a good team. We'll give Mamba a little bit of love there. This is a good team. But they should be with all the money they've spent. They got an ownership group that loves to spend money. They got the magic touch, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, it looks like they're gelling together in the clubhouse a lot better, too. It looks like they're having more fun out there.
Yeah, I think that's important. Finally, the Giants. Are they an apparition? They've lost 4 in a row.
Hunter Pence just went back on the DL.
Yeah, well, that's not surprising. That's what Hunter Pence does.
What?
He gets hurt a lot.
Not really.
Yeah, or am I thinking of what's his name?
No, not really, because up until this year, Pence has been Iron Man.
Has he really?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of what's his name. There's a guy that I always get confused with him. Can't remember his name.
Yeah, I don't know who you're thinking of.
Well, I can't remember his name. But hey, we all get stuff wrong. Hey, look, Mr. 250 Jimmy Rollins, we all get shit wrong.
Hey, it's okay. We both screwed up.
We both messed up.
we had a week off. We're a little rusty.
I would have swore that Pence has been a guy who's missed games. I would have swore he was.
No.
I can't even find him right now. Oh well. Yeah, hey, like I said, we all make mistakes.
Yeah.
We all make mistakes.
We're rusty. We're rusty. It's all right.
It's okay. It's not a big deal. Wait. Oh, you know what? No. Go fuck yourself, Jeff. Go fuck yourself. I was right. Eat shit. This guy has played 50 games, 100 games, 59 games, 101 games. Yeah, eat my dick. This guy's missed games in his career. You know what? Dave's right. I'm awesome. Go die. No, you know what? No, never mind. Never mind. Oh, no, the ESPN, you fucking asshole. Okay, when you read stats, it's really important to note that when a player gets traded mid-season, they split how many games they play between the two teams. So when you read them, it can look like they played less games in a season if you don't read properly. Never mind. I apologize, Jeff. Don't die. I'm really sorry. I got emotional. 162, 162, 160, 154,
Thank you.
156, 159.
Thank you.
Yeah, I apologize. I'm the worst. I am horrible. I'm sorry. I wanted you to eat it so bad.
We'd like to thank all of you who have watched Tough Enough. Jesus Christ. Touch 'em all. We'd like to thank all of you that watched Touch 'em all the last couple of weeks, as this will be our last show.
Right, we're done. It's over. Well, I'm an ass. Well, that's okay. Let's move on. We'll smoothly segue to the division we care about. And that is, of course, your National League Central. Cincinnati's dead. Milwaukee's dead.
Yeah, Milwaukee's been dead the whole year.
Yeah.
But Cincinnati's, their injuries are starting to pile up. They just lost Zach Kozark for the year, who was having,
big.
Last time I checked, was having a decent year.
Yeah, decent.
And did you see the Kozark injury?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that did not look fun.
No.
That did not look fun. They lost Mesoraco.
Yeah.
And Mesoraco's known for his offense. He doesn't give you much on defense.
Yeah.
I heard they were going to try Mesoraco in the outfield.
He's still a catcher.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the injuries are starting to pile up for Cincinnati. Cueto's, with his injury.
Yeah, it's one of those situations. The pitching staff isn't great anyway, so.
It's a 3-team race here.
It is, and I'm still thinking Pittsburgh's going to drop off. Look, I know you've liked Pittsburgh since the beginning of the year. They're playing better right now because they're in the softest portion of their schedule.
I think soft is an overstatement.
Understatement.
Understatement, my bad. God.
Wow, we're going tit for tat today, aren't we?
Yeah.
Horrible. Who's more horrible? Vote in the comment section below. Who's been more horrible, me or Jeff? I think with my double down, I am definitely more horrible. Because I went hard. I thought I saw something, and I went hard, man. That was the biggest double down in history. Whew. That was yeah. Go ahead and talk about your Cardinals. Tell the world why they're going to win this division.
Because they're awesome. because they're awesome. It doesn't. It seems like whoever gets hurt, they just are like, oh, okay.
Yeah, they're the Patriots. Okay. They're the Patriots.
They're the Blackhawks.
Yeah, they're the best run organization in baseball, possibly best run organization in sports.
Yeah, I mean they took 2 or 3 from the Dodgers at home, took 2 or 3 from Milwaukee at home, took 3 of 4 in LA, and somehow lost 2 of 3 to Colorado. And by the way, that is the first series that Colorado has won at home this season, was against the Cardinals. You know, you'd think with all the home field advantages people talk of, you'd think Colorado would have the best home field advantage with that lineup. You know, with Arenado lighting the world on fire, Tulo's producing. You'd think they'd have a nice home field advantage. No. You
can't pitch there. You can't pitch. You can't keep the ball. You can't keep the ball down there. It's
and they just took 2 or 3 from Kansas City at home, and the game yesterday got rained out.
Yep. I mean, let's face it. This is a good team. The Cardinals are good. Peralta's good.
Peralta's been he's been more than good.
He's been really he has. He's been great.
Yeah, he's hitting almost 320. He's got 10 bombs, and you know if the ball's hit to him, he's gonna scoop it up and make the play.
Yeah, that's a pretty fair assessment. This is a good team, man, and it makes me sick. It makes me sick to my ass.
Jaime Garcia's been awesome since he's been back.
Yeah.
Just pitched 8 shutout innings against the Royals.
Waka's got 8 wins.
Martinez has been really good.
Yeah. Another guy with an ERA under 3. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Lackey's eating innings the way you want him to eat innings. I mean, it's hard. Not a lot to complain about.
No, not really.
You look at their fielding percentage, and it's just like. This team does not commit a lot of errors. This is a good team.
I think Colton Wong's got the most, but that's because he tries to rush plays and tries to do too much.
Yeah.
And he's still making highlight reel plays on top of that, so.
Yeah, the most error you do not have. This is crazy. You do not have one player in double digits in errors.
I think Colton Wong's got the highest.
He's got 9, yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, not really a whole lot of complaints.
Yeah.
Matt Carpenter was in a nice little slump, but it looks like he's starting to come out of it.
Yeah, it's a good team.
I got nothing to complain about. I know we just lost Lance Lynn for 2 starts, but Mozeliak said he probably could have pitched through it. But hey, you got a 6-game lead, so why not?
There's no evidence that you should be worried. None. Because they continue just to play.
After 2011, I don't worry about much about this team. So,
So I mean that's about everything that we could say about the Cardinals, man. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna talk about my Cubs because I'm happy. The Cubs this is an amazing accomplishment for this team. What they've been able to do in the hardest stretch of their entire year. Now, granted, we just took 3 or 4 from the Reds. I'm not discounting. They're not a good team, obviously.
Right.
But they coming off that terrible stretch of games, playing the teams that we had to play. I mean, it was ugly. It was ugly, and winning the games that you need to win is the one thing the Cubs have not done this year. They have not beat the teams that they're supposed to beat. Well, now they're starting to do that. They're young. They've had some injuries. Soler got hurt. That has not been good. Lester has not been Lester this year. He's had a few starts where he's been good. He was really good yesterday. But this team continues to find ways to win. It's unbelievable how many one-run games they play.
Yeah, Castro 2 walk-off wins in a row.
Yes, he has. Amazing, especially for a guy who's been struggling. Castro, who's just a ground ball machine now. It's all he can do is hit the ball on the ground, double play.
But he's for some reason will hit 4th in the lineup.
Yeah, for some inexplicable friggin' reason. Yeah. The thing is, the power has been really cut down for this team lately. Chris Bryant hasn't hit a home run since late May. Anthony Rizzo hasn't hit a home run in what seems for a while. It's just kind of
I think the last time he hit one was in Washington.
Yeah. It's bizarre. I don't know.
They're still right where I expected.
Yeah, they are. I still think that they have some moves to make. I believe Schwarber and Baez need to make their debuts sooner rather than later. I think the offense could really use the boost, especially now. They need some help in the outfield. Coughlin
will give you a nice bat off the bench.
Yeah, Coughlin is a bench player. He's not an everyday player, and unfortunately, they've been playing him every day, and he's not that guy. They need some help in pitching. I still feel Soriano is getting ready to come up at some point, probably not before the All-Star break. Papelbon could be an option. That should solidify your closer role.
If the Phillies want to wise up and trade him.
Yeah, but once again, the Phillies seem to be asking ridiculous prices for their players again, even though nobody has any reason to pay them. Because the Phillies are terrible. They do not know. Does this franchise know how to rebuild? Go just pay Jed Hoyer, pay Hoyer, pay Hoystein.
Judging by the bills from the nursing homes in Philly, yeah, I don't think so.
Pay Hoystein to give you a class on how to rebuild a franchise in 5 years or less, because they've done it in multiple locations. It's incredible. I'm really happy being a Cubs fan right now. I don't know if the Cubs are going to make the playoffs. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you.
Right now, the NL Central's got 3 teams in the playoffs.
Yes, they do, and it's great to see it. But I don't know if the Cubs are going to maintain. But let me tell you, this has been so much fun to watch because the Cubs are a blast to watch. You can say whatever you want about them. They're exciting. Most one-run games in baseball. They're exciting, man. It's a lot of fun, and when they really start clicking, watch out. This team is going to be good for a long, long time. So that's all I got. I would ask you, who do you think is going to win the division? But I know you know that already. It's probably going to be the Cardinals. I'm a little. You got to be a little concerned with the fact that they haven't gotten a bigger lead than 6 games. But Pittsburgh and Chicago are good. So, yeah.
Well, Pittsburgh has McCutchen and Marte.
Yeah.
And Garrett Cole.
Yeah.
And Liriano, who has found his former self.
Yes, he has. Yes,
God, that slider he has, it's just not fair.
It's not fair.
It is not fair at all.
No, it's not. So I think that's going to wrap it up as far as division by division. Let's see if there's any news that is worth talking about.
A-Rod becomes the second player with 2,000 RBI.
Yeah.
Joining Aaron.
You can say whatever you want about A-Rod. And I know I've championed A-Rod this season, but Jesus Christ, man. Say that again, Jeff.
Second player in MLB history with 2,000 RBI. Joining Aaron.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Look, this is what I think about steroids. Steroids will make a bad player into a decent player into a good player into a great player, and a great
everybody goes up a level.
At least a level. And, the reality is, just like Barry Bonds, A-Rod hit before the juice as well.
Mm-hmm.
And there may have not been a guy with more talent that I've ever seen on a baseball field than Alex Rodriguez.
Yeah.
The guy can just play the game. The fact that he's doing what he's doing at the age of 40 is nothing short of remarkable. It's crazy. So
Duke can still swing it.
He can. He can swing that shillelagh. So it's you got anything else you can think of in the world of baseball to talk about?
No, I think we've dug ourselves a pretty deep hole here. So
hey, it was fun though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wasn't it fun?
Yeah.
How terrible we are?
Yeah.
But see, the good news is I was more terrible than you.
I don't know about that.
No, I do. I was awful.
I don't know about that. I've been out of it the last couple days. The fact that I couldn't lift my arms, can't go to the gym. My mind's out of whack right now.
I'm sure we'll be forgiven. And we'll come back next week. We'll be even better. Right, Jeffy?
Yeah, if you want to check out something good, go check out Shop at the Point Live yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah, that was it was a good show. It was a good show. It was a lot of fun. I was there, you were there, Tommy was there, and we had craziness with Matt Kazar.
Oh my god, that was just absolute gold.
Yeah, I was dying. I was in so much pain. Oh my god, I was in so much pain. That show, that was towards the end of my day. Oh, it was terrible, but it was a lot of fun. And so yeah, make sure you check out Shop from the Point, everything that's going on over there. Like, subscribe, and share that channel. Tommy works his ass off there. He's doing video game stuff now, nerds. Go get on that. Get on that. Come on. Yeah, it's hockey video game stuff, but it's video game stuff nonetheless. He's meeting you halfway, you dirty hippies. Joe Cronin, The Joe Cronin Show. Make sure you're checking out everything that's going on over there. Of course, I make cameos quite often. We've been absolutely killing it there on State of WWE and the reviews. We had a good monetized this. It's been good times for everybody over at The Joe Cronin Show. So make sure you check that site out as well. I know that your site is not a flurry of action lately, and that's understandable. But Grand Slam 87, my co-host here, Jeff Huffman, has a fantastic little site, that underrated site. I really do enjoy your videos.
Yeah, thank you. I'm trying to get some out, but just haven't had the time.
Yeah, it happens, buddy. Don't stress out too much about it. It's okay.
Haven't had the time. Like I said in the last video, what I'm thinking about doing is live streaming the games on my Twitch, which is also Grand Slam 87, and I'll be uploading that too.
Oh, that's cool. That's pretty cool. So you got all kinds of places that you can see all of us do our shenanigans, so make sure you check all that stuff out. And of course, right here, like, subscribe, and share. This has been Touch 'em All, your weekly baseball program, and we will be here next week to
maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Unless YouTube decides we're too terrible, which is possible.
Right.
But other than that, we will see you next time. Like, subscribe, and share. And remember, kids, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. We'll see you next time. Peace.